So once the sheath has been super glued with the clamps, and then you remove the clamps, you want to check that it actually fits the sword. So, and this has been modeled to have friction fit, so it doesn't actually come off. With enough shake, maybe it does. I did have one that is even tighter, which you actually force out. So I thought this is a quite good mix. I mean, it won't really fall out. Will it fall out like this? No, it's pretty good. So it comes out with the right force, like that, just like that. It won't really fall off until you actually pull it. So make sure it does that. And I really could like this feature. Check this out. So like when you actually turn it on, you can see through the semi-transparent white, and you can see through the black because it's got holes in it, obviously, with the Cyberpunk Katana Corporation text. Anyway, so to actually process it, so just clean my oven, so ignore that. So after the gluing, if you actually feel down the seam, it's actually bumpy. You can actually see that like that here. Let me just refocus that. Can I refocus it when it's not autofocus? No, it's completely off. Anyway, I think you can still see the bumps. So to get rid of that, I like to wet sand it. So I will use, I think this is around 120 grit. So as my usual method, I like to wet it because I don't like the residue sticking. And this is all I do really. And okay, let me just do it more this way. So often wet it. And since it's white, you won't even be able to see where you've been sanding it anyway. The black, however, if you sand the black, you will see those lines. So try to just sand just the white area where the actual super glue is. You can see it starts to leave the residue, which I just wash off. Can you see that? No, you can't really. Which I just wash off. Use my hand. It's a really rather quick process, to be honest. Which leaves just adding the sheath strap mounts that I designed really nicely. And you guys will see that in a bit. But I'm gonna just sand it down a bit more. Let you guys watch this. And obviously this is like a 45-degree angle, so I try to do it with my flat fingers, as in like hold all the fingers like that. And don't, unless you want to round it off, of course, like then you would do it like that. But I just do it that, holding it like that. So just do a few passes. You don't even need to spend long on this. Like as long as you use the right grit. If you go to something super smooth, like 600 grit, then it will take you ages. But 120 grit feels about right. And as I mentioned, this is like semi-transparent white, so you won't even see the scratch marks, which is great. And you don't even need to paint it or anything. Give it a feel with your finger. You know, it feels pretty perfect already, so I'll move on to the other side. With your fingers, feel it, feels great. And this is, so the one I'm sanding, this is actually for the Cyberpunk Katana version 2. So I have actually modeled a second version of this katana because I found there's a lot of things that I could improve on. So I'm actually teasing version 2 katana, and you might not be able to tell differences just by a first quick glimpse. But there is differences that I will be highlighting in another video. and it's really quite exciting actually, the new changes that I figured out. And I did want to do this because I'm loving this learning process of props, electronics. It's really exciting. But the key thing that I find really important is durability, and being able to use this and like XMA, swinging the sword about while doing flips, kata and stuff like that, and tricking. So yeah, there's one of my big goals, to get it to be ready for film stunts and stuff like that. So I'll make notes in the next video. Anyway, this is pretty, this is already done. This is like already sanded. So good standard in my opinion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dry it off, and then I'm gonna do the sheath strap mounts. So yeah, I'll come back to you in a minute, guys.